On May 6, 2024, the Tokyo Dome was packed to capacity. 50,000 Japanese fans filled every seat, draped in red and white, buzzing with anticipation and patriotic fervor. It was more than a sporting event, it was a moment of national reckoning. A villain was returning to the land he had disgraced, and Japan's greatest boxing champion was the man tasked with restoring honor. Luis Pantera Neri was not just another opponent. He was a symbol of betrayal. In 2017, the Mexican fighter had ruined the career of beloved Japanese champion Shinsuke Yamanaka. He beat him convincingly, but the victory was later stained by a failed drug test. The rematch was supposed to be redemption for Yamanaka, but Neri missed weight by 3 pounds, fought anyway, and retired the Japanese icon with another brutal beating. Japan was furious. Neri was banned from fighting in the country and exiled from their boxing scene. For years, that wound festered. Fans remembered. Fighters remembered. And when the opportunity came to lift Neri's ban for one reason, to allow him to face Japan's best, Naoya Inoue, there was no hesitation. It wasn't forgiveness. It was preparation for punishment. Naoya Inoue was no ordinary boxer. Undefeated, a 4-division champion, and a pound-for-pound elite, he had earned the nickname the Monster. Precise, fast, powerful, and composed, he was viewed not only as the best Japanese boxer in history but also as one of the finest in the world. And on that spring night, he wasn't just fighting for titles. He was fighting for a nation. From the moment Neri stepped into the Tokyo Dome, he was showered in boos. Yet he grinned, feeding off the hatred like fuel. His record was imposing: 35 wins, 27 knockouts, a southpaw with a punishing left hand, and a decade of violence in the ring. He was dangerous, confident, and determined to remind Japan of his power. Inoue, in contrast, was calm and quiet, staring through his opponent with cold intensity. The bell rang, and Neri immediately took the fight to Inoue. With sharp movement and fierce combinations, he surged forward. Then, something nobody expected happened. Neri connected with a perfect left hook, flush on Inoue's jaw, and dropped him to the canvas. It was the first time in Inoue's professional career that he had ever been knocked down. The Tokyo Dome gasped in horror. For a moment, time seemed to freeze. The unthinkable had happened. But what followed was not panic. Inoue rose, shook off the shock, and regrouped. He had been tested, and now he had to show the world something new: his ability to endure adversity. Neri saw his opening and charged forward, sensing he could shock the world. He let his hands go in wild bursts, hoping to capitalize on the damage done. Inoue, rattled but alert, used his footwork and defense to weather the barrage. The storm passed, and by the end of the round, Inoue looked like a different man. In the second round, Inoue responded with fury. He launched a counterattack, using his speed and timing to catch Neri coming in. A sharp right hand, clean and explosive, sent Neri crashing to the floor. The Tokyo crowd erupted, roaring back to life. The knockdown wasn't just revenge, it was a signal that the monster was fully awake. Neri stood, but the tone of the fight had changed. No longer the hunter, he was now the hunted. Inoue pressed forward in the third round, jabbing with authority and landing powerful right hands. His timing was perfect, his movement sharp, and his defense tight. Neri tried to keep up, but couldn't find the rhythm. As the rounds progressed, Inoue continued to pick his opponent apart. Neri grew frustrated, tried to taunt, and complained to the referee, but none of it slowed Inoue down. The Japanese champion was now moving like a man possessed, dodging punches with ease and returning fire with brutal precision. Every jab snapped Neri's head back, every hook tested his JAW. By round 5, Inoue's corner gave him the green light to increase the torque on his shots. He obeyed with glee. He began landing body shots that folded Neri and combinations that left him wobbling. A clean right to the jaw staggered Neri, and his knees buckled. Though still standing, he looked like a fighter on borrowed time. Neri, to his credit, refused to quit. He relied on grit and experience, trying to land a desperation shot, but nothing worked. His eyes revealed the truth. He had never been in with someone like Inoue. Every time he attacked, he was met with a counter. Every time he moved, he was shadowed. Every trick was answered. Then came round 6. Inoue had been dominant, but now he sought to end the fight. He opened with more feints, drawing Neri in. When the Mexican stepped forward, Inoue detonated a hook that dropped him a second time. The crowd screamed. Neri rose, beaten but not broken. He pushed forward again, showing the heart of a warrior, but Inoue had smelled blood. With the crowd on their feet and the world watching, Inoue delivered the final blows. A sharp uppercut lifted Neri's head, and a crushing right hand sent him collapsing to the canvas like a folding chair. The referee waved it off instantly. The Tokyo Dome exploded in celebration. Neri lay motionless, beaten in every way, and 6 rounds. Inoue had knocked Neri down 3 times and delivered a clinical dismantling. The crowd got exactly what they had come to see. More than a fight, it had been a reckoning. Inoue stood over his fallen opponent, not with arrogance, but with the quiet authority of a man who had fulfilled a duty. In the post-fight interview, Inoue said that Neri's cheating past had deeply motivated him. It wasn't just about titles, it was personal. The symbolism of that night couldn't be ignored. Japan had waited years to settle this score, and now, finally, they had closure. The WBC awarded Inoue the honorary diamond belt for his performance. More importantly, he was again named the pound-for-pound best boxer in the world. It was a second coronation for the monster, a recognition of both his skill and his resolve. But Inoue wasn't the only Inoue in action that night. His younger brother, Takuma Inoue, also stepped into the ring on the same card. While not as acclaimed as Naoya, Takuma had carved his own path. That night, he too was tested. Dropped early in the fight by a fierce opponent, Takuma had to show grit and composure. Just like his brother, he adjusted, regrouped, and fought his way back. By the final bell, he had earned a well-deserved victory. The Inoue brothers had both faced adversity, and both had triumphed. The night was already historic, but for longtime fans, it also echoed memories of another war, a fight that took place back in 2016, when Naoya Inoue faced a tough Mexican challenger named David Carmona. At the time, Inoue was defending his WBO junior bantamweight title and was on a streak of 5 straight knockouts. Carmona was gritty, experienced, and willing to go through fire. From the opening bell, the fight was intense. Carmona came forward aggressively, hoping to test the Japanese sensation. Inoue responded with his trademark power, landing hard combinations. The early rounds saw both fighters land clean shots, but Inoue clearly had the upper hand. Then, in round 3, disaster struck. Inoue injured his right hand. Suddenly, one of the sport's most dangerous punchers was reduced to using only his left. But even handicapped, Inoue refused to back down. He adapted his game plan, relying on his jab, left hooks, and footwork. Carmona, sensing opportunity, pressed harder. The Mexican showed incredible courage and durability, absorbing heavy shots and returning fire. The fight turned into a brutal chess match, with Inoue doing everything with one hand and Carmona trying to take advantage of the injury. Despite the setback, Inoue kept landing. His timing, even with one arm, remained superior. Carmona fought bravely, pushing the pace and trying to break Inoue down, but he couldn't find a way through the defense. The Tokyo crowd appreciated the courage on both sides, roaring with every exchange. As the rounds progressed, the tension built. Could Inoue finish the fight with one hand? Could Carmona pull off the upset? In the championship rounds, the answer became clear. Inoue, even injured, was too smart, too skilled, and too tough, and the 12th and final round, Inoue dug deep. He found the strength to throw the injured right hand, landing a surprise shot that rocked Carmona. The monster bit down on his mouthpiece and unloaded everything he had left. Carmona stayed on his feet, absorbing shots that would have stopped most fighters. When the final bell rang, both men raised their hands. The judges awarded the unanimous decision to Inoue. It was just the second time in his career he had gone the distance. For Inoue, the win proved he wasn't just a knockout artist. He was a complete fighter, capable of overcoming pain and pushing through adversity. That fight added depth to Inoue's legacy. Years later, on the night he destroyed Neri, fans remembered the journey. The power, the skill, the patience, and the heart. Inoue wasn't just a star. He was a symbol of everything that made Japanese boxing proud. Luis Neri had once come to Japan and brought shame. But in 2024, he returned and faced judgment. Inoue gave the fans what they had waited years to see, a complete and public undoing of a man who had disrespected their heroes. The monster didn't just win. He avenged. He restored. And he reminded the world why, in that moment, he stood alone at the top.